Hey, what's up, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Time for a great debate out there, which might anger some of you. So I hope you guys have your liquids, maybe some coffee, maybe some water, maybe some buffed using code LUCKY down below. As we talk about today, Warzone pros turning down CDL or Call of Duty pro jobs. Allegedly, all right? It's actually a great podcast with Hitch. If you guys don't know Around the Bar, you should check it out. It's a great podcast. It's so good, man. And he recently had Repullze on, who went on to say something very controversial. As he said, one of his homies and Warzone pros, one of the best in the world, Biffle, was actually offered a spot on a CDL team. He was offered a Call of Duty pro job, and he said no. He also goes on to say that he could be a top player in the league if he wanted to be, which ruffled a lot of feathers.
At the end of the day, they're good at Call of Duty. If you're good at Call of Duty, you're good at Call of Duty, right? Now, we fast forward and multiplayer, and not in a bad way, but isn't as popular anymore, right? Warzone has kind of taken that, like, everybody, Warzone is that next thing. So it's like, okay, the people that are goated, these insane superstars, where are they going to go? Where are you going to find them now? And a lot of these guys, the people that nobody knows about, are Warzone because they don't know any better. They're going to play Warzone. It's a free-to-play game. It's more accessible, and they're really good at the game. But now you teach them how to play other things, and they're gonna fry. Big reason of why I think Diaz, he played S&D growing up. He played a little bit of variant. Like, I genuinely believe you put that man in the CDL, and Crowder has said he can do it. Like, a lot of people, I mean, let's be honest. I'm not gonna leak anything, but he got offered multiple spots in the CDL. Like, I believe he could be a top 5 player in the league.
Was he offered like a starting spot? A starting spot,
brother. If I tell,
don't
just know, not this. Like, whenever I'm able to talk about it, you would be mind blown.
I'm sure I would.
You would be fucking like, what the fuck? Like, but
you can't talk about it. And he said no.
He said no. Again,
he would get fried.
Right. And I don't know where to go at this angle first. I think the most obvious one would be, of course, a Warzone pro player, and a top one at that, who just recently came away with the World Series of Warzone. And just with content and streaming alone, guys, Warzone pro players at the tippity top are going to be able to make way more money than Call of Duty pro players. At least I would say head to head. You know, what do you want, a 50, 60K guaranteed contract in the league where you don't have time to make content and stream, or you're a Warzone pro with the freedom and the great ability to actually have outside league sponsors. And it just, to me, at a face value, it's not even comparable. What Biffle can make in Warzone to Call of Duty League, of course he's going to choose Warzone. Like, that just makes sense. I think you take it a step further and say, okay, what a lot of the responses attuned to is, can he actually compete? Could he, if he dedicated the time that he does to Warzone to Call of Duty specifically, could he compete in the league with some of the top players in the world? And would he be a top player? That is an argument that I can't make for the guy. I mean, he is obviously one of the best in Warzone, but would that translate to a different style of Call of Duty and a different game mode entirely in several of those game modes and maps? I don't know. Like, I'm sure there is a transferability of that skill. I'm not going to sit here and gas him up like Repullze and say he'd be one of the best, but is it a possibility? I mean, maybe, but a lot of people are rightfully upset about this. Some even saying that Hector was lying, which I don't think he is. I don't think he's that type of guy. There's nothing really much to gain from this, by the way, despite maybe a great argument. That's about it. I don't think he would lie about it. But what do you guys think? And I'll end it on this, and you guys can spit back and forth in the comment section. What do you think about the clip? Did he actually get the offer? Why would he turn it down? Do you think he could compete? For me, it's like this makes perfect sense. Like, all of this does. When you have some of your bottom CDL teams each year, why would they not maybe reach out to some top Warzone guys and change things up? Me and Hunter have talked about this a long time. I would have actually loved to see an organization pick up some Warzone pro players. Some diehard Call of Duty people might be upset by that, but for me, outside in, looking at this league, I would love to see a traditionally still bottom team at least take a risk, man. Either some new up-and-comers, that's always great to see, or sign a full team of Warzone players. Yes, they might get smoked, but if they ever win a map, you're going to be talking about the CDL every single week, that this group of Warzone players goes up against actual Call of Duty pro players. And if they suck, okay, you never do it again. But if they even do okay, you got a great talking point for a CDL that is, I wouldn't say struggling, but it's not had the best news these first few weeks around it. So I would love that, man. Like, I would love that in any other esport. And in Call of Duty, it is possible to have these two different sides of pro players, Warzone pros and Call of Duty pros, potentially go head to head in an esport. I would love that. And maybe mother frick, man. I gotta stop keeping my phone on my goddamn thighs. It just breaks my toes every time. But what do you guys think, huh? Let me know in the comment section down below. I appreciate all of you guys leaving comments. I do read them all. I can't respond to them all, but I read them all. And some of you guys are awesome. Some of you guys are a little mean, and that's okay. As long as you get your anger out right here. Till next time, take care. All right, we'll see you back here for the next one.